Are you struggling with the imposter syndrome? How would your business change if you became outrageously confident? Listen in as your host, Cindy J, shares with you how to stop feeding the imposter syndrome and get outrageous confidence to build your business.
Welcome to this week's episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in as little as 15 minutes to build your dream business. And now here's your host, the Visibility Wiz, Cindy J.
Hi, I'm Cindy J, the Visibility Wiz, and this week I'm going to be sharing with you how to get outrageously confident. When you're confident, your business will just soar. It's really important to remember that everybody has confidence. You have confidence right now. In fact, everybody has confidence to some degree. From the day that you're born, you're on your own individual path to confidence. Your degree of confidence is either decreasing or increasing depending upon your beliefs that you form based on your perceptions of the events and actions of those around you. My definition of confidence is a characteristic that one continually builds upon throughout their lifetime. And confidence is not a state at which one arrives, it's a state of being. And as you continuously build upon this character, it becomes one of your personality traits, just as friendliness, honesty, being a good listener. And building these traits are keys to living a confident, happy, and fulfilling life. Remember that confidence is a personality trait. It's a skill that you can acquire. It just like you can acquire the skill of your person of being outgoing or talking to people or listening to people. Confidence is truly available to everyone. And whenever we're born, we really don't question it. 2 or 3-year-old isn't sitting there playing in the dirt saying, gee, I'm sorry, I'm dirty. They're not doing that. They don't, a 6-month-old doesn't throw their food on the floor and laugh and then think, oh, I'm not being confident, right? Children are born with confidence. They don't ever think about, am I doing what's right? Am I doing what's wrong? And you definitely didn't worry about if your actions would cause somebody to reject or ridicule you. This all comes up later, probably after we're 3 or 4, whenever we really start trying to please our parents. I believe we're all born with an accept and a reject button in our minds. Whenever somebody says something, you hit that accept button or you hit that reject button. So if Sally says, wow, man, I can't believe that you posted that on Facebook, man. I would never have posted something like that on Facebook. You think, oh my God, was that wrong for me to post that? Should I not have shared my opinion? And so then you go and you delete your Facebook post. Well, you accepted what Sally told you. Why? Sally doesn't know any more than you know. However, if somebody goes up to you and they say, your hair is green, unless you actually have colored your hair green, you're going to go, my hair's not green. What do you mean? You hit that reject button. I had a client once and she was at a breakfast with some friends of hers and she didn't like the way her food arrived. So she had asked the waiter to return it and cook it the way she wanted it. Her friend goes, God, man, you are really being rude. And so my client accepted that. She thought, oh my God, I'm being rude. I don't want to be a rude person. And so then she talked to me about it. And I'm like, you were not being rude. You were asking for what you want. How much more would you get in your business and in life if you would just take a deep breath and ask for what you want? I completely understand. I was not raised in the Leave It to Beaver home in no way, shape, or form. My father was extremely controlling. He was physically, sexually, and mentally abusive, and we lived in hell constantly. And my father, the mental part, he was constantly telling me, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to be a laughingstock if I ever show what I wrote to anybody. I hid my writing for years because I didn't want to be a laughingstock. I grew up truly believing everybody knew more than I did, that I had to just hide my candle, that my candle could not be lit. I couldn't talk about my knowledge or what I knew because it was constantly being stomped upon and stomped upon and stomped upon. And so as I aged and I grew up to be an adult, I continued with the same way. I would ask my bosses, did I do this right? Is this right? When I became self-employed again, I was always questioning what I was saying and what I was doing. What if somebody says that I'm wrong? What if what I'm saying is wrong? What if I don't know enough? I 100% understand what it feels like to sit there and think that you're not enough and you don't know enough and you're not good enough. And, you know, there's that big one. I felt that in order to teach something, I had to know a hell of a lot more than what I knew. So I was always hiding my candle under the bush, hiding my light under the bush, because I didn't want to tell people my beliefs, my opinions, what I thought. And over time, I was able to start being confident. When I became a coach, I was a divorce coach for women. I wanted to work with women because I felt safer with women. I was actually playing small because I didn't want to shout my message to the world. I was afraid that these big bad men would just stomp on me. So I wasn't being true to myself. And I was still at the point where I was listening to everybody else. I was at this event once where I was wearing a sweater, and my roommate that I was rooming with said, God, Cindy J, that sweater really makes you look fat and frumpy. I would never wear it in public. You should only wear that sweater in your house. And that just really got me. And for some reason, I clicked that accept button. I thought, man, that sweater makes me feel fat and frumpy, so I can't wear it outside ever again. I did feel, conscious about my weight. I did feel conscious about the way I spoke. I always say I was a confused child. My mother was from New York. My father was from the South. So I had these two distinct accents constantly talking at me as I grew up and learned to speak. So I was really conscious about my weight, about the way I spoke, about the way I looked. And for this woman to tell me that I was fat and frumpy in the sweater, I was like, oh my God, no. And so for years, I only wore that sweater in my house. I would not wear it outside at all. Then one day I was doing some errands, and so I just had my sweater and I was running around town with my sweater on. I went to 2 different stores, and at each store, somebody stopped me and said, you are so beautiful, and that sweater's just so beautiful, and it just brightens up your face. And I thought, holy crap, for years, I have been letting this other person's opinion of me and my sweater rule what I was doing. And we do this in business constantly. And I want you to think for a minute. I was speaking with one of my clients the other day, and I told her, I said, you need to raise your prices. She goes, no, I can't raise my prices. No, I can't even hardly believe I'm charging what I'm charging now. I can't raise my prices. And so I told her, I said, I want you to think, what have you learned in the past year? How much more confident are you now? I want you to go and right now write 10 things that you're more confident about that you can do today that you could not do a year ago. And she was surprised. She actually came up with more than 10. And I challenge you right now to create your own list of 10 things that you can do right now that you know right now that you did not know 12 months ago and that you're more confident about. And why are we, struggling? Why are we always afraid? A lot of times it's because we just don't know, because we've never experienced it before. For example, my grandson, when he was going into the 3rd grade, he calls me up and he goes, Grandma, I am so afraid. I am very, very, very afraid. He's very dramatic, so it was sort of funny. I'm very, very, very afraid. I go, David, honey, why are you afraid? Because I've never been in the 3rd grade before. So I said, well, weren't you in the 2nd grade? How was the 2nd grade? Did you make friends? Did you like your teacher? Did you have fun? And this is how we are as adults and with our business. We're so afraid because we've never done it before. And truly, the only way that we're going to get confident doing anything is if we do it. But you can look back at your past and see similar things that you've done that you haven't done before, that you now are confident at. And this is really great at building your confidence. If you look up the word confidence in the dictionary, you're going to get definitions such as full trust, belief in the powers, trustworthiness, reliability of a person or thing, belief in oneself, one's powers or abilities, self-confidence, self-reliance, and assurance. A feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's abilities or qualities, and the state of feeling certain about the truth of something. So let me ask you, what do these definitions conjure up for you? You know, those words, full trust. They may make you think that you have to have full trust in something to do it, or you have to be certain that you're sure of the outcome. This is something I hear from a lot of clients. I don't want to do it till I know I'm going to get positive results. They want that full assurance of the outcome. And they think that this is what would be confident. They want to be confident of that outcome that they're looking for. But let me ask you, how would your life be different? How would your business be different? And how many more risks would you take if you reframed those words to mean having full trust that you will do the very best you can and being certain that you will be okay regardless of the outcome? Let me say that again. How would your life be different? And how many risks would you take if you reframed those words to mean having full trust that you will do the best that you can and that you're certain that you will be okay regardless of the outcome? That's really, really a huge boost of confidence right there. You know, I completely understand that you're afraid of tons of elements about building your business, and know that you're always going to be uncomfortable, just like my grandson was uncomfortable going into third grade, simply because we can't be confident in something that we've never done before. Confidence is not something that you're ever going to achieve. It's a state of being. It's simply being willing to do something that you've never done before. It's being willing to do something you're afraid to do. And the more you do this thing, the more confident you'll become at this thing. And confidence is just merely taking action. I often speak about outrageous confidence, and even the topic of this podcast is get outrageous confidence. So what is outrageous confidence? The definition of outrageous is being bold, unusual, or startling. And as I said earlier, confidence is taking action. So whenever you put them together, outrageous confidence is taking bold action that may be unusual or startling. And this could be sharing a vulnerable post. Maybe it's a lesson that you learned the hard way. It could be letting people see your quirks, being silly, or sharing a controversial belief that you have. I have this wizard hat that I wear sometimes. Woo! See, and this is me being silly. Yay! Wearing that sweater. Actually, I posted a picture. I had my husband take a picture of that sweater, and I sent it to my email list. This was something, me being bold, and I took action. So being outrageously confident simply means that you're taking one simple little action that is a little bit bold. It's out of your comfort zone. And the more you do this, the more outrageously confident you will be. Outrageous confidence is whenever you give yourself permission to be you, to show yourself to your community. It's the willingness to be fully visible. It's what's going to make you stand out from the crowd. The people that stand out from the crowd are the ones that are just being them. They're not concerned about being rejected. They are not concerned about being wrong. I've been wrong tons of times, and I've been wrong in my groups. I've been wrong with my clients, and I can promise you I will be wrong again. But I know that that's just what makes me human. If I was perfect, people wouldn't trust me because, let's face it, who trusts somebody that's perfect? Nobody. So sharing something that happened in your past, sharing a personal belief of yours. Any of this is taking outrageous action. So it's being outrageously confident. It doesn't mean that you feel good about it. It means that you're being bold and you're taking that step. You're taking the step you're taking the step by doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable. And know that to be a trusted expert online, it's really important to step out of your comfort zone, to stand in your power, to be confident that you know what you're speaking about. Because believe me, you know what you're speaking about more than a lot of people do. Do people know more than you? Most definitely. But do you know more than your clients? Most definitely. So take a stand tall, stand proud. I have this huge crazy tree in my front yard, and it leans and the branches are going everywhere. Really, it's my neighbor's tree, but it overlaps our house. And this tree just stands proud. It doesn't apologize for crooked branches or not being groomed. It just doesn't apologize for it. It stands tall and proud. And that's what my wish is for you to just say goodbye to the imposter syndrome, because you are not an imposter. You can't be an imposter if you're just being you. If you're talking about your beliefs, if you're talking about what you know, if you're talking about what you love, if you're talking about what you hate, if you're talking about what angers you, if you're talking about things that make you really excited, you are being you. So how can you be an imposter? You are not being an imposter. So I beg of you to start every day taking some action that makes you feel uncomfortable. And so that goes to my 15-minute strategy for you. My 15-minute strategy is get out a pen and paper, list 10 things that you've had this inkling to do that you thought, gee, I'd sort of like to do this in my business, but I'm a little bit afraid. It could be a post that's a little bit controversial. It could say something that you really believe strongly about or you disagree with, and maybe make a post or write an article about it. It could be doing a Facebook Live. It could be doing a Facebook Live without makeup on. It could be, if you're a guy, maybe you're going bald, you always wear a hat. Maybe you can do it without a hat on, right? There's all kinds of things that we can do in our business that take us a little bit out of our comfort zone, that we're not really confident just to shine. So I want you to list 10 things that you'd sort of like to do, but you've been putting off because there's a little voice in you saying, don't do it, no, don't do it. I want you to write them, and then I want you to choose one thing, and I want you to do that one thing in the upcoming 7 days. And whenever you continuously to do that, your confidence is going to start to soar, your business will soar, people will start loving you for who you are, your ideal clients are going to flock to you, and they're going to go, yay, my teacher finally showed up. This is the person that I've been waiting for, because they're out there and they are waiting for you to stand tall, stand proud. So again, say goodbye to the imposter syndrome and say hello to being outrageously confident. My gift for you today is the 5 secrets to online visibility. So you can head on over to bizsuccessin15.com/confidence and grab your free report of 5 secrets to online visibility. I hope you have a fantastic week, and be sure to tune in next time whenever I'll have an amazing guest. Big hugs.
You've been listening to Biz Success in 15. For all links mentioned in today's show and to watch or listen to previous episodes, visit bizsuccessin15.com. Thanks so much for listening, and be sure to tune in next week for another amazing guest.